The next card is the Sun card. And whenever I describe like the major arcanas, I always connect to the Hebrew letter that it's associated with, because all the 22 Hebrew letters are connected to the 22 major arcana. And the Sun card is connected to the Hebrew letter RESH. And RESH is like rosh, which means head, which is the head of the year, which is Rosh Hashanah. And then, so the card's all about beginnings, new beginnings, the head of the year, a whole 365 days cycle beginning, a head start. And also Rosh Hashanah is the holiday whenever you have a huge karmic reset and you get to start over with a whole clean slate going into the new year. And so it kind of captures that new year, new me vibes. And then even on the card, it shows a picture of the baby Jesus being figuratively reborn or metaphorically reborn. And he starts out like baby, so it's like all fresh. He's naked, so it's like no ego. And he's kind of coming out of his shell, because this card coincides with July 22nd, because that's when Cancer comes out of its shell and it goes into Leo season. And this is associated with Leo season card. And so it's all about having the new year, new me, coming out of your shell, be your authentic self, and just having a whole new year, a whole new clean slate, and a reset. And then looking further into the card, Jesus is associated with being the shepherd. And the Hebrew letter connected to being a shepherd is lamed. And Jesus's red ribbon right here looks like the Hebrew letter lamed, how it's a squiggly line. And this is the curtain that came down in King Solomon's temple on Good Friday when Jesus died. And then when he died, he has a rebirth, and he's reborn, and he's reborn new. And he is the Son of God, and he is the light of the world. And so it's all about being reborn, have a fresh new start, new year, new me, and just be a beacon of light, share your light, be a channel for the light. And you really connect to the light when you really sincerely connect to your authentic self and your authenticity. And if you look even closer into the sun, you will see the Roman numeral 19, but next to that 19 is a squiggly black line, which is exactly the Hebrew letter lamed. And lamed, it is in the center of the Hebrew alphabet, which has 22 letters. And if you were to count the sun rays, there's 21. And it's a squiggly line, straight line, squiggly line, straight line inside this like pattern. And if you look at the lamed, it goes along with the squiggly line, because it's squiggly line, straight line, and then there's a lamed before the 19, and then it goes back to straight line again. And then lamed connects to Libra, which is the center of the zodiac, or around the center of the sun, or the sun cycle. And then Libra is also the same month, in the Hebrew month, where Rosh Hashanah is in, which is Tishrei. And so lamed, it means ox goad, or like that shepherd's staff, like that poker stick that you would to lead the sheep or his flock. And it's all about being the shepherd, being the leader, thinking above the rest and rising above the rest, and leading with heart, because Jesus is the Christ within you, and he's the heart chakra. And so lamed is actually the tallest of all the Hebrew letters. And because it's in the center of the alphabet, it's known as the heart. And so as the center and the tallest, it leads with heart, and it rises above the rest of all the other letters, and it thinks above the rest, acts above the rest, and it takes the leadership role. And it tries to pick up the ones and bring that are below them, and then bring them up to their level. And so it's like shepherd who doesn't let any of the sheep behind, and treats everybody with justice and with fairness, and treating everybody the same equally. Just like the justice card is connected to the Hebrew letter lamed. Same thing, we're treating everybody with the fairness scales and also with justice, and everybody the same, and stands up for the other people who cannot stand up for themselves, just like Jesus did. And so when you get the card, it's all about starting brand new, wanting to reset your life, and just to kind of connect back into your authentic self and not care about what other people would think or how to judge you. Just like when Jesus, he came out of hiding, because he was hiding for 18 years, He was, and then when he was 30 years old, he comes out and starts prophesying his beliefs and his prophecies, and starts having followers and disciples, and gets baptized and starts his uh, teachings. And so he was 30 years old, which is key because the Hebrew letter Lamed has a numerical value of 30. So it's all about coming out of hiding, come out of your shell, and take more of a leadership role, take charge, and be radiant like the sun, and to pick other people up and bring them to your level and lead by example. Because the sun, it goes up and it goes down. Because the sun is only up half the day. And then the rest of the day, the moon comes up. And so if the sun were to stay up all the time, it would just, the whole world would be a desert. So the sun knows when to bow out and give somebody else a chance. And then the sun likes to just be warm, and it likes to bring light and life to everything instead of trying to be too much where it burns people or dries things out. And once you burn people or burn bridges, then you lose those connections. And then whenever you do have, like when you're up, like the RESH is your head, so when you're radiating your head, your timing's on like perfect, you're on point, everything you say is perfect, then the world feels like it revolves around you. That's when you should take the opportunity of your success, or whenever people recognize you or validate your greatness or your talents. That's the time of your life when you got to start leading with heart and try to be warm and try to build up others to your level, and don't try to put other people down, because we all have ups and downs. And so if we're ever experiencing a down, then we'll want those people that we helped bring up to our level when we were up, that they'll also bring us up when we are experiencing a down in our life. But as far as like career, it's all about like coming out of your shell, doing things your way, not caring about what other people think. Like as far as like doing your own thing, be authentic to your truth, and don't be afraid to express yourself. And then also take a leadership role and come out of your shell, come out of your comfort zone. And then in relationships, it could be all about having time to like reset and kind of let's just start over, a whole clean slate. Let's put the past behind us. It's kind of like a karmic reset. And we kind of just revert back to the beginning, how things used to be, when at the very like exciting, loving, and romance times. And then we kind of have like a whole year ahead of us. That's all just all new, and with like optimism and hope and faith that it's going to keep getting better.